Hey everybody, it's Josie. Welcome back to Cedar Creek Homestead. Only today we're not on the homestead. We're at Tulsa with baby Rowdy, who's in the Children's Hospital, and we are staying at the Ronald McDonald House. And I'll tell you, I'm so thankful that there's kind people that are involved in this charity, and that these are all across the nation, and I think even around the world there's places that that people can go with their little families and their children, and when they need to be close to the hospital and they need a place to be quiet. And Cheyenne and I are up here, and we're going and spending the days with little Rowdy. Blade's back home. He's having to work, and he's going to try his best to come up on weekends and bring little Howie so that we can spend time with him. He's not allowed at the Children's Hospital. At 18 and under are not allowed in. I guess not even to see their siblings, are they? I think the rule is pretty strict on that. And so what we'll do is just we'll split our time. What will happen is I'll probably stay here with little Howie while they go to the hospital to visit Rowdy. So those of you that don't know, baby Rowdy was born at 1:38 in the morning on Saturday the 27th. Cheyenne was 36 weeks along with him exactly that day, right? Mm-hmm. And so when he was first born, he was blue. Cheyenne got to hold him for just, I guess, as soon as he was born, they handed him to her, and then they took him as soon as they realized there was an issue. Blade hasn't got to hold him at all. They've only got a few, 1 or 2, 3 maybe pictures of him. And at first they thought that it was just an issue with him being born early, and that his lungs were sticky like what Howie's was when he was born early. But once they got him here to Children's Hospital and they started running tests on him, they realized that there was some major things happening with him. And I was with them when the doctor come in and sit down with us, and she was very, very kind, and she explained to the kids that baby Rowdy was very, very sick. Started him on a lot of medications. And then doctor came in and she explained to us all of the different things that was wrong with him, and the underlying cause is he has an unknown infection, pretty severe, and unless they figured it out this morning, we haven't been there yet, they still don't know what caused the infection. They just know that he has one. I don't know if y'all can see or not, but Cheyenne is sitting in the next bed over, and she's a little tired this morning and
swollen.
So I'm trying to be considerate of her, but she is here, and we're trying to watch out for her too, because she just had a little baby, and I had to have some procedures, and so we're watching out for her too, trying to get her to drink her water. So those of you that are friends with her, give her a daily reminder to drink water. Mm-hmm. Send it to her. She'll appreciate being reminded to drink water. So in seriousness, she does need to drink her water. So when all of the tests began to come in, they realized that he had his white blood cell count was low. At first we told you guys that he had high blood pressure. That wasn't right. He had low blood pressure. They put him on 2 antibiotics to start with, and they changed one of them to a broader spectrum to cover more things because they didn't know. The doctor told us that she couldn't test him for meningitis because they had him sedated, and
He was too uncomfortable.
He was too uncomfortable, and they can't move him, or they weren't moving him, and so she couldn't test for meningitis, and that requires a 21-day round of antibiotics, whatever the antibiotic is, and so they have him on that. He has a condition that I cannot tell you the name of it, and get it correct, but I will try to get it as close as possible. He had a condition called diabetes insipidus. And it doesn't have to do with his sugar like what I have, type 2 diabetes. He has this, and it involves his urine output, and when he puts out too much urine, and so he's got that going on. And let's see, what else does he have going on? Pulmonary hypertension. He has pulmonary hypertension, and just a lot of hurdles to be gotten over. But with the Lord moving in his situation, all of our friends and family praying here on YouTube, on Facebook, there's prayer chains from all these different churches. We're starting to see some things now. So they have a machine that the doctor come in, and they basically said this is the, well, for lack of better words, like kind of a last resort kind of thing, is what they were talking about with this. And what is it called?
An ECMO machine. It's like it's the same thing they use for heart patients when they put them on a bypass machine, but it's for babies. It's bedside instead of, I guess, operating.
And they talked about another machine that they wanted to try before they did that, and it was one that would do less damage to their lungs. But blood clotting was an issue, and so they would have to give him blood thinners, right?
That was the ECMO machine is one that causes the blood clotting.
Okay, so I'm getting them mixed up.
The other machine was something that it's like the ventilator that he's on. It just does less damage to his lungs, but because he was so uncomfortable, they didn't want to move him.
Okay, so we'll give you. Like I said, we haven't been to the hospital yet this morning. We're getting ready to go, but as when we left last night, they're also checking his blood gases, and those when we got our first numbers, it was like 47 or 57, something like that, right? And so all along they come in every so many hours and they test his blood gases again. And Monday, all of his numbers was horrible. I'll just be honest with you, the kids didn't know it. We have to wear a mask in the room the whole time. And the kids probably didn't know it, but I was praying the whole time I was in there. And I was really scared. I was not 100% sure we were going to have a positive outcome. And I could see that the kids were scared. But on Tuesday, things started to improve. In fact, Monday night, they really started to improve. We started getting better reports on these numbers. Yesterday, when we got there, the blood gases started moving. Monday night, she got her first report. When we got home, we didn't have this room yet, so we had to go all the way home back to Gore. And in the night, his first number jumped, or at 9 o'clock at night.
It's like 119. When I woke up Tuesday, it was just over 200, and then I called about probably noon, and it was 279.
So we got here yesterday, got our room. That was a process. We got all unpacked and went to be with the baby, and got here late got back here to the Ronald McDonald house late. When we left the hospital last night, guys, listen to how big God is. They have begun moving him, repositioning him to keep him comfortable. His blood gas numbers just keep going up, and which is a good thing. He does have high blood pressure. However, the way they explained it to us is the medication that they have him on for low blood pressure is causing him to have the high blood pressure.
Because his lungs are trying to work on their own.
So his lungs are beginning to work on their own, and so they're having to modify the medication that was helping at the beginning is kind of getting in the way now of his healing, and so they're going to start backing off on some of his medications today. They've already took one off last night.
And they're supposed to try to take another one off today.
And so we're headed in the right direction. And he's still, now, since he's been there, he's not tolerated any kind of noise at all. His blood pressure shoots, or his heart rate shoots up when they're in there. Even the nurses are in there talking. If they're talking in a voice above a whisper, the alarms and everything goes off. He doesn't tolerate any of that at all. But they told us last night that they're beginning to think that even some of that is now becoming more of an issue of he's just wanting to
do things on
do things, and so he's getting a little bit agitated. He's tried to breathe some on his own. That's why they are keeping him sedated more, because they have him on
ventilator.
They have him on a ventilator, and they wanted the ventilator to do the work, and he is wanting to work himself, and so it was being counterproductive there, and so they're probably going to back off on some of that.
Supposed to.
They backed off on his oxygen. He was, when we left last night, it was down to 90, where the supplemental oxygen was down to 90, and so he's doing a little bit of the work. So anyway, we're coveting your prayers. He's not out of the woods. We did get good news. We were kind of concerned about some of these conditions, the pulmonary hypertension and the diabetes insipidus, that those would be permanent conditions, but they told us yesterday that once the infection is cleared up and he begins to heal, that those conditions will go away so that he won't have those in the future. So we are just here to say thank you. And my goodness, the outpouring of all of the well wishes and the prayers that you guys have sent to us. Now, we have lots and lots of comments on the videos, and I am one that tries to comment or give a heart or whatever. It's taking us a little time to get through those. Please be patient with this. We have to be very quiet in his room. We can't even really talk to each other unless we whisper or we're just right there together. And so it's taking a little bit longer. But hopefully if you watch these videos, you'll hear how he's doing. Probably not going to see some farm videos for a little while because I'm not there. But there's other things that we can do. And one of the things that we thought would be fun with you guys is if you would have any questions about, I don't know, maybe you want to know about how Howie and I met, or different things. Put them down in the comments, and we'll pull some of those out, and we can have a question and answer session. I'm probably going to try to video some about the Ronald McDonald House, but I have to be really careful that we don't get anybody on film, families with their small children or anything like that. But just stick with us. We're doing the best we can. If you're watching this and you aren't subscribed, please subscribe to us. That helps us out. And I'll just be totally honest, we need all the help we can get right now. And so keep praying. We feel like you're part of the family. And even though we don't know faces, we recognize some of your names on the comments, and you've been so kind to send letters. And we're going to jump off for now. I'll try this evening, if we get back in time, I'll try to get on here and do an update video and have something else for you guys. So until next time, guys, this is Josie and Cheyenne. And if you can see her, I'm a terrible camera person. You're actually sitting in the window. And so you may not be seeing her, but if you can't, she's right over there. Y'all drop her a line and harass her to drink her water. And until next time, guys, we're gone.